It's been an eventful journey for the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, from being the ruling party in the People's Democratic Party to the Labour Party, and then back to the People's Democratic Party, until, of course, its defeat to the All Progressives Congress in the 2016 governorship election. Today, we review the fortunes of Ondo State PDP as well as other national issues. As I bid you welcome, I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. It's your preferred investigative interview on TVC. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned. Today, my guest is the chairman of the People's Democratic Party here in Ondo State in the person of Chief Clement Faboyede. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Let's start this way. It's been more than a year since your defeat to the All Progressives Congress in Ondo State, a year plus. How have you been managing in your new role as the new opposition?
What happened there was the internal crisis within the PDP that culminated into not enough preparation for that election, and which was caused by INEC. You understand, and the powers that be then, because of the internal crisis that we had then. So substitution of names.
You admit that there were internal crises. So do you take responsibility?
That was caused by INEC as at that time, because the Jim Ibrahim was substituted for that of Jegede. Jegede had been initially published.
But let's not forget that there was a national leadership tussle which trickled down to the PDP in all the states of the federation.
That is what I'm saying. But
so you should take some form of responsibility.
No. INEC also participated in that particular trouble. So what happened was that Jegede name was initially published. There was no cause for INEC, though there was a court judgment, and they reversed it and they gave it to Jimo Ibrahim. But at the end of the day, there was an appeal court judgment or Supreme Court judgment then that returned Jegede's name. And the law says that INEC should be able to republish Jegede's name for 30 days.
But before that upheaval, it had been known to the Ondo people that former Governor Olusegun Mimiko had anointed SAN Jegede as a successor, and he had emerged as the flag bearer of the PDP.
There was no anointing. You people are getting it wrong. The governor never anointed anybody. You understand? But the governor is a human being. By the culture of PDP, he is a delegate. So and he has if you choose to see it that way, Mr. Chairman. There was a clear primary. If you choose to see it that way, but he was known as the PDP flag bearer before the upheaval began. So even at the end of the day, the Ondo people knew who they were going to vote for. No. Jegede wasn't a PDP flag bearer before the contest, before the primary. You understand? But it is true.
But he was an aspirant.
It was an aspirant.
Absolutely.
Mr. Sakalawa was an aspirant.
He had enough time within the purview of the people. He had enough time for the scrutiny of the people for them to make up their minds about who they wanted to vote for.
It was not the primary that was the problem, but the internal crisis within the party that borders on substitution of name of Jegede because of the dichotomy then at the national level on the leadership of the party. Why Jegede was voted for that of Jimo Ibrahim.
The back and forth between INEC and the party granted. Yeah. But the people knew him and they knew who they wanted to vote for. In spite of all the back and forth, he was still defeated at the election.
Like I insist and I maintain.
So is that not a question mark on the performance of the PDP in Ondo State?
No, it is not. It is not. We'll come to that shortly. I want to affirm and reaffirm to you that that election was no context, because the substitution of Jimo Ibrahim's name damned the enthusiasm of people, the party members, and even the majority of Ondo State people that were already working for Jegede. You understand? So when Jegede names came back, we had no time to campaign, and it is only fair that INEC extends and publish Jegede's name and obey the law for 30 days publication. That would have been able to afford us to do the necessary campaign and get prepared for the election. But under 2 days, they were restored and there was election.
But campaign for the PDP started well before preparations for that election. It started on the day Governor Olusegun Mimiko won the election in 2012 to be returned as governor.
We did not start our second term. Our continuity campaign. You understand that who who will conduct Governor Mimiko's job. We didn't start that until when the annex says, okay, it is time for you to get prepared for the next election. We were working, and that is true, and it is evident today.
Any political party in power starts its campaign from the day it wins the election. So the result of that election was a vote of no confidence on the PDP.
It's not correct. It's not correct at all. Any government that wins an election should first of all concentrate on fulfillment of election campaign promises. There are time frames for everything in politics. There are time for, okay, continuity or after or election period. ANEC has standard timetables, of which if you go against, you will be liable. You understand?
So defeat has been a bitter pill, undoubtedly.
Well, that is true, but in any contest, it's either you win or you lose. But the ability to buckle up, to speak again after losing an election is what makes a party. It what makes a man.
Let's look at the consequences of your defeat at that election. As party chairman, what efforts of reconciliation have you been making, especially towards the aggrieved members who were under the Sheriff faction, who, as a result of the division in the party, left, along with, I think, Jimo Ibrahim?
Glory be to God, as of today, the PDP, national and Ondo State, there's nothing like a Sheriff faction again. All those have been laid to rest by the Supreme Court judgment. Committee have been set up at the national level and they have achieved a lot. In Ondo State here, there's nothing like a Sheriff faction again. Or the principal actors.
True, but are they back? Is B. Poroye back? John Alabi back? Yemi Ajoni Bode back? Ademola Genti back? Are they back?
Thank you. People that have yielded, they are back in the party. And they are working now. So, those state now is one ESCO, one leadership caucus, one state working committee, one state executive council, and onward march, we are moving on to victory.
So the exit of all the others on the list is inconsequential?
They left for another party, but we left for mega party. So of what consequence it is? It is, we'll go to defeat together. PDP will have his own line. Mega party will also have his own line. No problem. So that is question or not until we see the result of the election. Alabi is still a member of PDP. He has not said he's not a member of PDP. And he's working. You understand? I told you that there's no Sheriff group in Ondo State again. It's been laid to rest. As we are talking, the Sheriff is in APC.
But that's not the end of your defection problem, Chairman. You also had the Speaker leading 7 others defecting to the All Progressives Congress.
Thank you.
Following the victory of the APC.
Yes. You see, what happened is the politics of a black man. If a party brings you into power and you voted away, it is either you are looking for a ticket, either second time or third time in the new party you've been to, or that you don't want to give back to people. You understand? That is some doctrine of some of we black people. You understand? But we thank God as of today. I am sure they are regretting it. Yes, some of them they have called us back. They are beckoning to us. They want to come back to PDP. But we tell them, go back to the people. Go and give back to the people first. Then you come back.
Interesting.
But they are free. They are free to come back. Because the PDP constitution is very clear. It's just they come back to the party with only, even within a month, you get a
interesting
waiver. After a month, they are free to contest for the primary.
If I may borrow your words, Chairman, selfish politics, politics of black buy, will I use the same traits to describe your own defection when you're governor? In that unforgettable defection from the Labour Party to the PDP, you also went with him.
Yes,
in fact, you were chairman of Labour Party.
It was not
so
deflection.
Was your own defection black buy, selfish politics as well?
No, don't get it wrong. There was no deflection from Labour Party to PDP. It was movement of government. Movement of government. We all agreed. No dissenting voice. The government of Ondo State... That's a redefinition. Excuse me. It is not a deflection. It was moving the government of Ondo State then. Wait. Yes, it is not. It was the movement of the government of Ondo State into PDP. Because PDP there was the national party.
What happened? Excuse me. It was convenient to forget about the workers' ideology when you were moving the government from the Labour Party to the PDP.
What were we doing under Labour Party then that we didn't do when we got to PDP? Nothing. It was the same government. More people came in and on one march we are moving, we are connected to the national grid. Then it was then that when we moved into PDP that we had approval. Then under Jonathan, the seaport for Ondo State. You understand? And even Jonathan won that election. The same party in the Bokota, those states, by now would have been completed.
I'll remember your definition of your movement.
Yes.
Your movement from Labour Party to the PDP.
It was the government that
not
moved
a defection.
to PDP.
I'll remember your words, sir. Now, let's look at another movement.
Yeah.
Your former principal or your godfather or the leader of your party, whichever way you choose to look at him, has announced his movement or defection in the eyes of the people from the People's Democratic Party.
Yes.
He has not said where he is going to, but
yeah.
I read recently your appeal to him to remain in the party because he remains the leader of your party. How are you dealing with that?
Well, thank you. Governor Olusegun Mimiko is an individual. He's our leader. We respect him. It is true that he has told us that he may likely move out of the party that is consulting. That is the word. That he is highly likely to move out of PDP and that he is consulting. You understand? So, for now, I want to say he has moved out of PDP. Because the popular effect of his consultation, he will weigh it. Whether to still remain in PDP or go back to any other party of his choice. That is at individual level. What he has seen up there, I have not been able to see it. But he called us, he explained to us. But I, as a person, I am not convinced that I should leave PDP. Because
this time around, you're not convinced.
Coming, yes.
Is it because
yes.
Governor Mimiko is, former Governor Mimiko is no longer in power? So that's why you're not convinced this time?
No, excuse me, far from that.
When he was governor, it was convenient for you to move the government along with him.
Wait now, far from that. Far from that. We moved the government from those states, the Labour Party, to PDP. It was the agreement of all of us as at that time. He consulted. We agreed. In comparative analysis.
Have you fallen out with your former political godfather over certain issues that you would rather we are not privy to?
No, not really. But
not
the
really.
reasons, excuse
but
me,
to an extent.
the reasons are dealt by by leader, by my political mentor, Governor Olusegun Mimiko. The reason are dealt that we should leave for, I believe it's not witty enough to me personally and to generality of our members, our team members of PDP in the Ondo State.
And that is why you have told him
yes,
that
we have suffered a lot under this PDP as a national party, as a national platform. So I want to remain that we reap the fruit of PDP, that national platform in the Ondo State. Because if we leave PDP now, what of the teaming members of our party that wants to contest? What happens to their fate? You know, leadership is not about leadership all the time. There are things that a leader has to tolerate. There are things that a leader must be able to accommodate because of the followers.
And that is why you have added a key rider to appeal to him that if he decides to leave, you will move on without him.
Well, I am not leaving PDP. That is what I know.
So that's what you said. That's what I read that you said.
Yes, I am not leaving PDP. If he decides
to leave, you will move on without him.
But if he finally leaves,
you will move on without him.
PDP will not die.
All right.
PDP will not die.
You're watching Fireworks on TVC, and we're having a lot of issues clarified, especially what the PDP's position is as far as their defeat is to the All Progressives Congress in the 2016 governorship election. There are more issues to review, so stay with us if you don't want to miss out. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying tuned to Fireworks. If you've been watching, we have been talking today with the chairman of the People's Democratic Party here in Ondo State, and we've been clarifying a lot of issues as regards the governorship election, especially as regards the defection which the chairman has chosen to see or define as movement of the former Labour Party government under former Governor Olusegun Mimiko to the PDP when he defected in about 2012 or so. Now we're moving on now to looking at the consequences of the PDP government's defeat to the All Progressives Congress, which is former Governor Mimiko's announcement about his exit, his planned exit from the party. Now, I ask again, Mr. Chairman, that have you fallen out with your former leader, Governor Olusegun Mimiko, on any issue? I ask again, which has informed your stance this time that if he doesn't reconsider his plan to move from the PDP, You will move on without him.
If he says that we should leave PDP, that we have suffered, that we went through a lot of trauma, that we lost a lifetime election, now that the platform is settled and people are ready to contest, and that we have only one national working committee now under Secondus, that the issue of divided leadership at the level is settled, and that in our state, in those states, that we only have one ESCO down to the water level, and our people are ready to contest now, and that doesn't about campaigning. For me, as state chairman, to leave that platform and throw that platform into another round of crisis of who is going to be chairman, or whether they should ban or dissolve the ESCO, and my name will ring bell, truncating of people's ambition, I will not be part of it.
Because I ask, because there are reports that you may have fallen out with him over funds received by the Ondo State PDP from the arms deal cash allegedly distributed by the former NSA, Sambo Dasuki, who is under investigation, or on trial rather. Is this true?
No, this is news.
Because the reports say that the former governor collected the funds, routed through a private account, but had you signed for it, over which the EFCC is now investigating you.
That's not correct. Far, far from it. I was the chairman of PDP, that 2015 election, of National Assembly elections and presidential elections of a Goodluck Jonathan. I was the chairman. Toko Bambudupe was the DG campaign. I was called that I should go almost the 36 hours to election. The fund came belatedly. Seriously belatedly. Leaders were waiting. Everybody were waiting for the lecture fund, logistic funds. That's what I would call it. To pay for party agents. You understand? To pay for a movement, transportation of members that don't have a polling booths in their area, that willing to walk 2 or 3 kilometers before they get to the polling use. Logistic funds for the party. 500 million came. And I signed for it. I signed. I, C.O. Faboyede, the chairman of PDP in Ondo State during that time and still now, signed for that money to prosecute the National Assembly election and the very Goodluck Jonathan presidential picture as at that time. It was party money. It was the party that called me and we went to bank. We collected the money in the Fidelity Bank. We signed for it. So we didn't steal any money. Now that the governor Mimiko collected the money and passed to a private account, that's a damaging lie. So it is true that the FCC came. They accosted us and they confronted us with our own signature. And we said, yes, we collected the money. They asked us various questions. You understand? As far as we are concerned, the money was sent to us by the party to prosecute the National Assembly and presidential election of 2015. You understand? If it is an offense to collect money sent to you by your party, that's what I'm meant to understand. And the election money will represent as party chairman, and the other man as DG campaign. You understand? It's not for us to start querying where is this source of money from.
So it is not true that your grouse is the governor.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Smartly had you signed for
not
it instead of
all.
him.
No. The governor doesn't have to sign for it. I was the party chairman, and I'm still the party chairman. When the money came, the money is meant for the party to prosecute that election. He added to the money before it was distributed into the local governments. Mr. Chairman, how do you
explain news just this morning or the night before by the PDP support group that Governor Segun Mimiko, before he exits the party, he must account for the money collected by the Ondo State PDP for that election?
Well, to me, that's just an individual assumption or individual position. You understand?
So you do not identify
what I'm
with the PSG?
Excuse me. What I'm privileged to know, they may not know. They didn't know that I signed for that money and it was meant for the election. That's the money, as far as I'm concerned, that's the money I know that came to, that was 2015. It's different from the one you are saying now. This one is for the last governorship election in the state. That's what the PSG man is saying. And as I'm concerned, I didn't know. I'm not aware, as party chairman, that any money came into the state through the governor. I didn't know anything about that. But what I know is that, what I know, they may not know. But they should have asked questions before printing those type of call for questioning.
But do you identify with the PDP support group within the Ondo State PDP?
No.
You do not identify?
No, you see.
Are they a rebel group?
No, they are not. Look, they are not rebel groups.
Okay.
They are not rebel groups. These are a culmination or association of young men and women that are cerebral in ICT, and they committed themselves into a sort of, let me say, publicity department of the party. And they also went out the publicity school reconciliation. That is what they do. You understand? And in their various moving around the states, they stumble on a lot of information, whether it is right or not. You understand? If they had asked me as the chairman
before going ahead
that
to
this
press,
is what, if they asked me that question, I would have been able to explain better to them. So there are things that I know at my level. There are things the governor will know at his level that I don't know. There are things the candidate will know at his level that I don't know. But to my own personal knowledge and to the knowledge of the party, I am not aware of any money received by anybody or any who are not given to the governor
that which
to process the election that it did not.
Besides that which you signed for.
That is different. That's 2015 election.
2015
different
election.
From 2012 or 13 election.
Okay.
You understand? It's different. Okay. Governorship election, National Assembly election, presidential election. That is the one I signed for. That was sent to me.
And was judiciously spent.
We have all the records.
Okay. Now, sir, still on the fortunes of the PDP, especially against the backdrop of your appeal to your former leader or your current leader to remain in the PDP. He's still a relevant force in Ondo politics.
Thank you.
Now, are you wary that upon his exit, he's going to leave with all his supporters?
Thank you. His exit will definitely affect PDP in Ondo State. But it is not unsurmountable. It will. He was governor for it. He was SSG in PDP. He was minister in PDP. Two-term governor and ended up a PDP man, chairman of Governors Forum, a brilliant man, a man that has performed well in office. Of course, it will affect. But I'm telling you that it is not unsurmountable. You remember that if my Oga finally leaves, there are some members of PDP that were aggrieved, that were annoyed that we moved government of Ondo State and jumped into PDP, that will come back into the party. There are some people that did not like his ideology. He believes in a leadership, followership doctrine. My Oga does not believe, my Oga believes in consensus candidacy for any party. My Oga doesn't believe in going through the rigor of primary.
As we coast home gradually, Mr. Chairman, I know that you've talked passionately about your travails ahead of that 2016 election, which you lost to the All Progressives Congress.
I told you there was no contest.
The back and forth between INEC.
There was no contest. They can't beat us.
Still, and I gather that you alongside former Governor Mimiko were in Abuja at that time trying to resolve issues. Still, there are commentaries that Governor Mimiko may have traded Tayo Jegede for a soft landing.
What I know, first of all, the reasons, if you may ask me, that what are the reasons that made us lost that election in Ondo State? That I know, number one is the internal crisis within PDP. That culminated into changing Jimoh Ibrahim's name to that of, changing Jageda's name to that of Jimoh Ibrahim. That is what it was a major blow. You understand? It was a major blow. And because of the leadership crisis at the national. That is one. Two, if they had extended that election for just 1 week, for Jagede to get his hands together and for the party to put things right, I'm telling you, the guy would have been will be higher than that of Mount Kilimanjaro. That is the truth. Those are the two factors that I know. You understand? If they say the governor a soft landing with who?
For himself.
With
because
he was a PDP man.
He was clairvoyant about the APC's impending victory because the APC was now the government in power and perhaps to avoid prosecution.
On what? The type of governance that he has done? A very successful government with a well-packaged reference programs that he executed, which the current government are now enjoying. The people of the state now, they have seen the difference between Olusegun and the current APC government in those states.
So what's the difference? What's the difference?
Lot of difference.
Okay, go ahead.
Lot of difference. His government had woman face under PDP.
But he owed salaries.
Wait. No. The federal government didn't hold salary. The Dutch didn't hold salary. Is it peculiar to him alone? Far from it. You understand? People go out there, those
But why are party leaders comfortable with talking about owing salaries as a problem that we just have to deal with? Isn't it a major breach of trust?
It is a national problem. Owing salary is a national problem. You understand? Apart from Lagos.
But governors are elected because they are able, because of their competence to solve problems. Governors are elected because they are competent to solve problems, like...
Will they manufacture money?
Backlog of salaries.
No, wait. They can't manufacture money. Get it right. Governance is not about paying salary alone. There must be election campaign promises unfulfilled. The percentage of workers that take salaries, you compare it to the general population of the country. Governance is more than paying salary. You understand? We have to provide security, which this government is failing now. Everybody is clamoring for a better change, a positive change, not a negative change. You understand? Security, paramount. Guarantee the living standard and the lives, substantial life of individual. That's the more primary obligation of any government. Any government that fails on that, that government is a nullity. Then apart from that, education. Go and look at the schools Mimiko built. This government says it's not sustainable. Which one have they built? What have they done that is new? To even maintain the structure, they couldn't. Talk in terms of health, about life, guaranteeing the individual's life, in terms of health and safety. Look at our mother and child concept in PDP that we are having now. It's bastardized now. It's being reduced to mere consulting clinic now. If you go there now for science operation, you have 100,000, 120,000. Things that are either to be free under PDP government, under Olusegun Mimiko. So what are we talking about?
I want to thank you very much for your time, Chairman PDP in Ondo State, Mr. Clement Faboyede.
Thank you.
That's how it's been on the program today. Of course, on all the issues that may be cloudy that you read on the papers, of course, that you hear on the electronic media, you have clarity, and that's the essence of Fireworks, raising the bar on national conversation. And that's why I urge you to watch the repeat broadcast if you've missed the first edition, and join me again same time next week when I bring you another fiery edition of your preferred interview program, Fireworks on TVC. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. Bye for now.